Today we're diving into something that could completely change your life. Remote jobs that let you travel the world while making good money online. And the best part, you don't need any specialized skills to get started. But let me be clear about what I mean by no special skills required. I'm talking about jobs that don't need formal degrees or certifications like medicine or law. Jobs that don't require years of specialized technical training like programming or data science. And these are roles that you can learn in weeks or months through online resources, using transferable skills many of you probably already have. Look, just a few years ago, I was stuck in a pharmacy career making six figures but feeling completely trapped. Then I discovered the power of remote work and everything changed. Now I travel wherever I want, whenever I want. Now I know what you're thinking. Shane, another video about digital nomad jobs. But here's the thing, these are realistic, in-demand jobs that are actively hiring right now in 2025. And I'm not just making stuff up. I even started with a remote job while building my online business. So I know exactly what works. And here's a fact, the average digital nomad in Bali is spending between $1,500 and $2,000 a month for a completely amazing lifestyle. Private villas, daily massages, incredible food, and adventures whenever they want. Not to mention they're living in a tropical paradise. And that's the freedom that these jobs can give you. Now, before we jump into these jobs, I put together my 30-day remote job landing challenge with daily action steps to help you land your dream work from anywhere gig. And it's the same exact system that I've used and the system that I've taught other people to land work from home jobs. And it's completely free, so click the link below to get instant access. Now let's get into these 7 remote jobs that can fund your digital nomad lifestyle without requiring extremely specialized skills. First up, we've got email marketing specialist, which is a perfect entry point into the digital nomad world. Companies everywhere need someone to manage their email campaigns, and it's a skill that you can learn in weeks, not years. So just as an example, if you signed up to my 30-day remote job challenge, you are going to be receiving emails for those 30 days. And those emails took a lot of work, and it would have been nice if I had an email marketing specialist, which maybe someday I'll hire. So in this position, you'll be creating email sequences, setting up campaigns, and analyzing results to improve open rates and conversions. And the reason why this doesn't require any special skills is because it's a perfect example of a job that sounds technical, but it actually isn't. The platforms do 99% of the heavy lifting for you. For instance, you could use Go High Level for your email marketing, and you could use Claude or ChatGPT to help you write the email sequences. So you don't need a marketing degree or years of experience, just basic computer skills and attention to detail. So most email marketing tools like MailChimp, for instance, have free plans that you can use right now to practice and build your skills by creating campaigns for yourself or your friends. And according to Glassdoor's 2025 data, email marketing specialists earn an average of $75,000 a year. And it makes sense because for every $1 that you spend on email marketing, you get $40 in return. So a quick guide to landing the job. Here's what you need to make it happen. First, you want to familiarize yourself with email platforms like MailChimp, ConvertKit, Klaviyo, ActiveCampaign, or Go High Level. Then you want to learn basic copywriting skills, and there's plenty of free resources online. Then you want to understand email metrics like open rates, click-through rates, and conversions. And this is something you could literally learn in a day. Then you want to create a portfolio by offering to help small businesses or even friends with their email campaigns. This will show that you have experience. Even if it wasn't paid experience, nobody's going to know. Now, with almost every business using email marketing and most doing it incredibly poorly, I give this an opportunity score of 8 out of 10. The barrier to entry is low, but the demand is incredibly high.
What's happening, guys? In the editing process of this video, and I have an opportunity for a select group of people. So these are people who are serious about growing their personal brand on YouTube. So basically, we figured out recently how to grow a personal brand and combine all the upsides of a personal brand with the upsides of automation, right? Using AI, using things like this to basically grow your personal brand 10 times faster, which in the past used to take decades to do. And now you can do it significantly faster. And you can do this to get a better job. You know, we work with beginners that just want to get a better job with their personal brand. You can do this to make money as a side hustle. We work with a lot of people like that. We can do this to make more money if you already have a side hustle or a small business. Or if you're already crushing it on YouTube, we can help you crush it 10 times more. We've worked with people like that as well. I mean, I literally can show clients at each level. People that we've gotten from 0 to over 10K, 0 to like over 30K, from like 1K per month all the way up to 185K per month, from around 30K per month all the way up to over 500K per month. So literally at every single level, and it works for everyone in every situation. With that being said, we are only working with 3 to 5 people, and they have to be people who are very serious, right? People who are dedicated to making this work. So if you think you're that type of person, go ahead and apply down in the description and the pinned comment below, and you could be part of our group of 3 to 5 that we help. So see you there. Have a good one.
So next up is project manager, and don't let the title intimidate you. This isn't about having fancy certifications, it's about being organized and good at coordinating people. And as a remote project manager, you'll be overseeing tasks, timelines, and team coordination for companies that operate virtually. And the best part is most of the skills you need are just basic organization and communication skills that many people already have. So this is one of those careers that a ton of people actually transition into from completely unrelated careers. So it's not one of those careers that you're typically going to go into right out of college or right out of high school. It's usually something that you transition into from another career. And despite how it sounds, project management doesn't require specialized training or certifications to get started. However, if you want to give yourself a boost, there are some certs out there that are really good. For instance, the Google Project Management Professional Certificate is really good, and that can get you started in the right direction. And I made a video on that, so you can check it out. So if you've ever planned a trip for friends, organized a family event, or coordinated a team project at work, you probably already have the core skills necessary. And most project management tools like Trello and Asana have free versions that you can use today to practice organizing projects and tasks. And you can literally sign up and start learning in 15 minutes. And according to Glassdoor's 2025 data, project managers earn anywhere between $81,000 and $237,000 a year. And I've met digital nomads working as project managers for tech startups making $6,000 to $8,000 a month while living in places like Chiang Mai, Thailand, or Medellin, Colombia, where their cost of living is probably about $1,500 a month. So they are literally living like kings. Now, quick guide to landing the job: learn to use project management tools like Asana, Trello, or Monday.com. All have free versions to practice with. Then develop your communication skills for virtual environments. Understand basic project management timelines and deadline management, and highlight any experience coordinating teams or managing timelines in previous jobs. And with the rise of remote teams needing coordination, I give this one an opportunity score of 9 out of 10. Companies are desperate for people who can keep projects on track and don't need a specialized degree to do it well. Now, by the way, let me know in the comments which of these jobs sound most interesting to you. I'm curious which one would get you excited to pursue your online digital nomad journey, or maybe you've tried some of them, or you have a friend or a family member that's tried them. Let me know what they think about them as well. Next job on the list is going to be an online course manager. And this one is absolutely exploding right now. So online course manager is perfect for organized people who enjoy helping others succeed. Now, with online education booming, it's literally one of the fastest growing industries out there. Course creators need someone to manage their programs, support students, and ensure everything runs smoothly. And it's not just course creators. Big companies oftentimes put out courses for their own employees to train them as well. And in this position, you're essentially the person who makes sure that the course experience is great after the content creator has done their part. And the reason why no special skills are required is this role leverages skills that most people probably already have, or they can easily develop. And if you've ever tutored someone or helped somebody learn something, or answered questions in a Facebook group, or organized information for others, you probably already have the foundation for the skills required. So the technical aspects of course platforms like Teachable or Kajabi can be learned in a weekend. And most of these platforms offer free trials or demos where you can click around and learn the basics without spending a dime. And according to Glassdoor's 2025 data, online course designers, which is the closest comparable role, earn an average of $89,000 a year. And I've seen digital nomads making $5,000 monthly managing courses for just 2 to 3 creators. And the best part is this job is almost always fully remote. So this is one of those jobs where you can make money part-time, full-time, or as a freelancer. All right, so quick guide to landing the job. First, you want to familiarize yourself with course platforms like Teachable, Kajabi, or Thinkific. Then you want to develop customer service skills for handling student questions. And then you want to learn the basics of course administration and community management. Then you want to highlight any teaching, coaching, tutoring, or any type of customer service experience that you have. Basically, being client-facing and interacting with clients, even if it's just asking people if they'd like fries with that at McDonald's. So yeah, with online courses becoming a standard part of modern education and business, I'm going to give this one an opportunity score of 8 out of 10. The industry is still growing rapidly, and good course managers are hard to find. All right, next is a content writer. And if you've got a way with words, this next opportunity might be perfect for you. Now, content writers are in massive demand. Every company needs blog posts, website copy, newsletters, YouTube video scripts, etc. And the best part is you don't need to be Hemingway. You just need to write clearly about topics after doing some basic research. So if you can write an email or create a social media post, you can become a content writer, especially considering you have these amazing tools like Claude that can do most of the work for you. So you don't need a journalism degree or publishing experience, just the ability to communicate clearly. So start by writing about topics that you already know. The research skills needed can be developed simply by practicing online searches and summarizing information. And you can start building these these skills today by writing practice articles on Medium or even starting a simple blog using free platforms like WordPress.com. Now, when it comes to earning potential, according to Glassdoor 2025 data, they make about $67,000 a year. So a quick guide to landing the job: build a simple portfolio of writing samples, even if it's unpaid at first, learn the basics of SEO writing because there's lots of free resources online, then develop research skills to quickly understand new topics, and find your first clients on platforms like Upwork or by directly reaching out to businesses with poor content. So yeah, with content being the backbone of digital marketing, I absolutely love this, and I'm gonna give it an opportunity score of 8 out of 10. Every business needs content, but most don't have someone dedicated to creating it consistently. All right, job number 5 is remote executive assistant. This is a high-paying version of virtual assistant work that companies actually value enough to pay well for. So as a remote executive assistant, you'll be helping busy entrepreneurs and executives manage their schedules, emails, and administrative tasks. So it's perfect for organized people who enjoy variety in their work. Now, this really doesn't require any specialized skills because this role just uses everyday skills that many people already have: checking your email, so email management, scheduling stuff, basic communication, and organization. So you don't need specialized training or certifications. And the tools used are things like Google Calendar, Outlook, Zoom, and basic office software. And these are all things that many people already know or can learn in a day. So if you can organize your own life and appointments, you can learn to do it for somebody else. So start by organizing your own calendar and email more efficiently to practice these skills. So according to Glassdoor, remote executive assistants earn about $88,000 a year. So quick guide to landing the job: first, master communication tools like Slack, Zoom, and Google Workspace. Then develop strong organizational and calendar management skills. Then learn basic email management and prioritization techniques. And then highlight any administrative or customer service experience that you have. And with executives increasingly comfortable with remote support, I give this an opportunity score of 9 out of 10. Now, the next one is very interesting: podcast producer or podcast manager. And I helped one of my very first students, David, get a job doing just this. Now, why did I help him do that? Because podcasting was his passion. And so this role combines creativity with organization, and it's exploding in demand right now. So podcast producers help create, plan, edit, and publish their podcast episodes. So you'll handle everything from scheduling guests to managing the publishing calendar, all skills that can be learned quickly without specialized training. And despite how technical it might sound, podcast production can be learned without special education. The basic audio editing skills needed, for instance, can be developed using free software such as Audacity, which has tons of great YouTube tutorials, and you don't need super expensive equipment these days or even a sound engineering degree. If you've ever trimmed a video on your phone or organized a project, you already have transferable skills. And you can start practicing today by recording short audio clips and editing them, or by offering to help a friend who's thinking about starting a podcast. And according to Glassdoor's 2025 data, podcast producers earn an average of $82,000 a year. And there's plenty of digital nomads making $5,000+ a month managing podcasts for just 3 to 4 creators while living in places like Prague or Mexico City. Now, a quick guide to landing the job: learn basic audio editing software like Audacity or Adobe Podcast, understand podcast or publishing platforms like Anchor, Libsyn, or Buzzsprout, develop skills in show notes writing and episode planning, and start by offering to help smaller podcasters improve their production quality. And with podcasting continuing to grow exponentially, I give this an opportunity score of 8 out of 10. The supply of good podcast producers hasn't caught up with the massive demand. And there's a lot of other jobs you can go into within the podcasting industry.
Quick break. This video is sponsored by me. Most of you don't know that I actually have my own coaching program on personal branding and then growing and making money on YouTube. And this is good for complete beginners, maybe even people who just want to get a job by growing their personal brand, all the way up to people who are very advanced on YouTube. And they get to work directly with myself and my team to help them reach their goals. Now, we are opening up 3 to 5 spots, and this is pretty rare. We usually don't have these open. We usually only limit them to select people. But we're opening up 3 to 5 spots, and you can check those out down in the description and the pinned comment below. And in this program, you'll get to work directly with myself and other people who are highly successful on YouTube. Just as an example, Sean was able to go all the way from being stuck, not making very much money on his channel, to making over $500,000 a month. Now, that's an example of one of my more advanced students, but there's lots of examples of people who started off from scratch and they got to 5K a month, 10K a month, etc. So check that out down in the description and the pinned comment below.
All right, next is an online community manager. And this one is perfect for people who enjoy bringing others together. Now, as an online community manager, you will cultivate and moderate online spaces for brands, courses, or membership sites. And it's about creating engagement, answering questions, and making sure community members feel supported. And there's really no special skills required besides being a human being. So, sorry, Zuck, you can't do it. But if you've ever moderated a Facebook group, participated actively in online forums, or just enjoy connecting with people in general, you already have the core skills needed. So the technical aspects of platforms like Discord, Circle, or Facebook groups can be learned in an afternoon. It's not that complicated. So there's no special certifications or degrees required. And you can start building these skills today by becoming more active in online communities that you already belong to, and just helping to answer questions and noticing what creates engagement. And by the way, online communities are getting bigger and bigger. This is becoming basically the default for online education or entertainment. People basically expect you to have a community now. And according to Glassdoor's 2025 data, online community managers earn an average of $78,000 a year. And even digital nomads in Bali or Costa Rica are making $4,000 to $6,000 monthly managing communities for just a few brands. Or sometimes they have a full-time job. So quick guide to landing the job: learn popular community platforms like Circle, Discord, School, Facebook groups, etc. Develop moderation and engagement skills, understand community content calendars and event planning, and start by volunteering to help manage groups that you're already a part of. And with online communities becoming essential for brands and creators, I give this an opportunity score of 9 out of 10. And good community managers who can create engagement are incredibly rare and valuable. So yeah, the digital nomad lifestyle is not for everyone by any means. I absolutely love living this lifestyle, and I'm gonna be doing it for the foreseeable future. You know, it might be a little bit hard if I have kids and stuff like that, but we'll see what happens. But with that being said, I think it's absolutely phenomenal, and I wouldn't trade this for the world. But if you want more of a work from home job, I made a video called 15 boring but realistic work from home jobs that are always hiring that got to over 4 million views, and you can check that out by clicking right here.